Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Welcome back to analysis here. It's been a while. We haven't done this for a while because of a few things here and there. But anyway, here we are. We're resuming, and it's good to see you guys who have come in. Um, we'll do a few analyses here and there just to show you what we're looking at fundamentally and technically, and what we expect to be seeing in the next coming weeks. Okay. And yeah, apart from that, nothing much, nothing out of the blues. We've had a busy week here in the office for the past few weeks, but here we are regardless. So allow me to share my screen as usual. As I always say, I'll share this on YouTube later on today, but you guys will get first-hand information because when I post it on YouTube, time has normally run out, and some of the trades we've talked about are normally have already played out. Okay, so starting out, I'll look at the calendar. So you're seeing we have the calendar for the week through looking at Forex Factory. So we have the Bank of England. We had the Governor Bailey speaking yesterday, Monday and Tuesday. Okay, and then today we have a lot of news coming out. New Zealand dollar releasing their interest rates, which they already did. If I refresh this page, you can see they have it at 2.5. They've increased it by 50 basis points. Okay, and they're following what the Australian did. Australian also last week they also increased their interest rates by 50 basis points. So New Zealand dollars followed suit. We have USD today at 3:30 p.m. CPI news coming out. We have Bank of Canada releasing their interest rates as well. We won't be surprised if also they increase their interest rates by a minimum of 50% basis points today as well. And then tomorrow we'll be having nothing much really from what I'm seeing here. And then Friday also nothing really much from what also I'm seeing here. Okay, so it's important to watch the news just as a guide to know what is coming out, so that if you take any risk in the market, you know what are the things that might change your perspective or the direction of the market. Okay, so apart from that, let me go straight into the analysis. Look at the pairs, what we've been having. Let's start with the dollar, because the dollar has really been rising for the past few weeks. We've seen dollar strength, and we've been doing this a lot, and we keep saying when you're trying to sell the market in a bullish trend, okay, or vice versa, when you're trying to catch a bottom when the market is moving in a downtrend, it's very, very hard. And that's the same thing that we've been seeing here. Look at the dollar, it's been showing signs, it's been creating shooting stars. For example, here, the sort of a shooting star formation, another shooting star formation here. Yesterday we closed as a doji. So trying to catch those those tops, trying to sell it to market has been nullifying the bearish factors, okay, and continuing to move to the upside. There's a lot of dollar strength across the board, and right now what has been talking around the global market is Euro USD parity. You can see here it is. The dollar has really been strengthening against the euro. The last time the euro was stronger than the dollar was stronger than the euro was 20 years ago. And if you look at, let me zoom this. If you look at this monthly chart and if you zoom it out, the last time we were at this low was back in 2002 over here. So you see here about November 2002 towards the end, November, December, most probably, November is when we were below the $1, okay, and that's where market is really pushing to. We can easily see it entering there into that level today. Won't be surprised. You can see the momentum that market has been coming with to the downside. So if I go back to the daily chart, you're seeing that market, this is on Euro USD, okay, market has really been respecting this formation of a channel-like formation to the downside. We had this first touch, second touch, third touch, and ever since we got that third touch, market has been tumbling all the way down from highs of 1.07 all the way to 1.00, where market is currently trading at. I'll be watching to see if you can get a bit of a correction here, respecting this channel-like formation to the downside. You're seeing we're approaching the lower boundary of this channel-like formation, so can act as a very good support. But still, like I normally say, we're not trying to catch a top. Markets can easily continue moving to the downside, especially with the dollar strength across the board. We can easily see that continuing. But at the same time, I won't ignore the fact that market can also correct. It can easily correct from this level, and market can move higher. Let's first see if market will hit that 0.999 something on this pair later on today, and see if we can get that market correction. But if we go back to the dollar, still looking at that dollar strength, what we're talking about, Market has really been rallying. Been looking to see if market can get a bit of a correction, but most of my trades have been taken on the dollar longs. Okay, so that's what we've been looking at. Market is still rallying. You're looking at the 4-hour chart. Still the same case, okay, with what we're seeing on the daily chart. Market is still sort of rallying. Can we get a correction? Yesterday I thought this correction will get a strong follow through to the downside, but today we are seeing market trying to push to the upside. I'll wait to see how this 4-hour candlestick will close. A lot of information can be embedded inside it to see if market can either move further down or continue moving to the upside. Before I go further, even looking at GU, the same thing has been happening. Market has been in a downtrend, okay. GBPUSD also sort of within a channel like formation. You're seeing this movement to the downside, market respecting the trend line to the upside, respecting that, acting as our resistance barrier, and markets moving further down. So I'll be watching this also. Let's see how it pans out. These are pairs I don't trade. So EURUSD, GBPUSD, I just look at them, analyze them, especially for my students. I normally help them analyze it, but not to trade them for myself, because I have that discipline. It's not part of the pairs, it's not part of my portfolio, okay? So that's what I have on those ones. So if you go to other pairs like gold, last week we had a crazy drop and we talked about it. If you saw our last week's YouTube, I talked about it, how market was expecting to see if market can even drop all the way to 1650 to the was it 1650 or 1675? Yeah, 1675 to the downside. Look at this is a downward trend, okay. Market has been respecting this trend line on the daily chart. First touch, second touch, third touch. Okay, look how market broke below this barrier. It was a strong support level. Talked about it last week. Look at that support pushed market to all those highs, came back, acted as support, and finally market came and broke below. Okay, so you can easily see this market moving to the downside, further down. Maybe a bit of a correction to come in, get a correction to retest this highlighted zone over here before we move further down. But market has been overall in a strong downtrend ever since we got this top back in March 2022. Okay, so that was earlier on this year, towards the end of quarter 3, the first quarter. Okay, we're seeing that market moving to the downside. If you go to the 4-hour chart, nothing much. Market has really been consolidating down here with no much momentum. Something easily we can see over here is a quick rebound to the upside. So this is just a slow momentum to the downside, showing that the sellers are not as strong as they were before. You're seeing this move to the downside. So you can easily expect a correction to the upside. The momentum to the downside is not as strong as what I'd expect to see if this market is to continue moving down strongly, okay. And something similar I saw on Aussie dollar, sort of like that one, had a slowdown in momentum like here. So Aussie dollar, if you look at down here, also within sort of a channel like formation, market came, slowed down in momentum to the downside, and easily we saw this bullish engulfing candlestick to the upside, pushing markets much higher. So you can see dollar corrections coming in. This pair is really correcting to the upside, Euro USD, Aussie dollar, and the likes, okay, and gold as well. So that's what I'm watching on gold. Let's see how that pans out. No pair, no trade on this one, no nothing that I'm really looking at. I'll still pay attention to it, but no trade running on this one. USDCAD, let me finish Aussie dollar first. So Aussie dollar, same thing also, what I'm watching. Nothing much on this one, just looking at these patterns that are forming. Can this channel like be respected to the downside? Can market continue moving further down in respect to that dollar strength? If not, and market gets a correction, how far can we go to the upside? Okay, will you go back and break this trend line or break this resistance level that we're seeing here, and markets to continue moving further up? That's the question of the day, and that's what I'll be waiting to see. But on this one as well, I don't really have any trade running. There's nothing I'm watching, but I'll keep paying attention to it later on in the week to see if anything comes up. USDCAD was expecting markets to move further down, okay, with a bit of a correction around this level. So you can see here I'm expecting a bit of a market, especially look at this pattern over here that's forming. Market is not really breaking above this level. So if I highlight it, I think we have a level here where market came and touched, not really getting a strong close above it. So I won't be surprised if you see market pushing further down. I'm expecting it to come back down to the 1.2920 level, okay, to the downside, all the way down here. okay, where we might start looking for further buys if the market shows us those signals. But for now, this resistance here, it's showing us the path of most resistance is to the upside. Look at that multiple rejection. If it closes above strongly and closes above the trend line, closes above this resistance level, then longs will continue moving in. But if not, I'll be looking for further shorts to the downside. So that's what I'm watching on this one. If I look at the daily chart, I don't think I have anything much on the daily. Daily also over here. Like if you look here, if you extend this, you're seeing it's more or less a barrier that has been respected for a very long time. You can see this first touch, second touch, third touch. Can we get a correction back to this 1.2950 before we get a break to the upside, or will market easily break this upside and move further up to respect this bigger channel like formation that you're seeing here to the upside? Okay, so I'm inclined to seeing any side being broken. I won't be surprised if market continues up, the dollar will be very strong, then I'll continue seeing this market rallying. But if not, we can get a correction to the downside back to the 1.2950 dollar mark. So that's what I'm watching on this one. And last but not least, I'm watching the Dow Jones. So Dow Jones is a pair that I have a trade running. It's what I was watching yesterday. Okay, so I got a trade somewhere here below here. If you look at the 1 hour, markets really rallied. Then we got a strong correction yesterday evening. So I had this trade here, got it quite early on. Okay, got it around here, market rallied strongly. We were, I think, about 60-70% towards target. Then we quickly got this correction that came later on in the night from 8 p.m. This was around 8, we topped here 9-10 towards the night, then market capped there, and now we're sort of still seeing how market will behave. I'm still on this one, I'm still watching because of this support level that I have here. See, we have a sort of a support level here that I'm still watching over here. Unless we strongly break it and remain below it is when we can change bias, but for now I'm still looking for it to rally a bit higher, not so high. I'm just looking for the 31,550 level to the upside to be hit before any other bias comes into the market. So that's what I'm mainly watching on this one. And yeah, that's basically it. Those are the pairs I trade, because I trade Dow Jones, Aussie dollar, USDCAD, and gold. The other pairs, and I pay attention to dollar index. Then Euro USD, GBPUSD, I just markets that I have, that I scan and help analyze with the students when they are here in the class. But apart from that, I don't have anything much. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, pretty much it for today. And look, at the end of the day, normally what I try is to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, and see, it gives me much more clarity. Simplicity, less is more. We keep saying that. Okay, so I see Derek asking in the chats expectations on CPI today. I don't think I really have any expectations, Derek, really on the CPI. I'll just wait and see what number comes out. For me, what I normally pay attention is how will it be absorbed into the markets, how will the markets react to it, and that's what I'm mostly paying attention to. But I don't have any expectations for the CPI. I'll just wait and see what the CPI, how it will come out. So allow me to end it there, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon on Friday, hopefully, or next week, one of the two. So have a wonderful week, and may the peeps be with you. And like I like saying these days, remember to stay woke and stay financially literate. Peace. Thank you very much for watching Financial Hub's content on YouTube. For more forex analysis, financial education, podcasts, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.